Hello again, everyone. Brian Rhodes here. Hey, I hope all is right with all of you out there today. Well, the holiday weekend has come to a close. Here we are Monday night. Labor Day weekend is over. Everybody's going back to schools and universities tomorrow. I don't know where you are, but here in Toronto this weekend, it was absolutely unbelievably nice. The temperatures were just, well, if anything, maybe a little too warm. I got a little bit of sun, as a matter of fact, on Saturday. A couple of friends of mine and I went to watch the Toronto Wolfpack game, which is rugby league rugby. Teams come over from England. I think it's the first transatlantic league in history, but it's quite interesting. We get teams over here in Toronto from mostly London, or mostly England, I should say, but also Toulouse, France, and it's really exciting, a really exciting game. We're discovering it here right now. Anyways, I had a good time and I got a little bit of sun because of it. So listen, I guess that's part of what I want to talk about today. After that meeting, the fellows that I went with, we wanted to work a little bit on what we're going to do about steem.film. There was a release, I shouldn't say a release, I guess it was a post where basically the post on Steemit, I think by Steemit blog said, don't wait. Start right now and getting your platforms up and running for the SMTs. Well, yes and no. We went through it thoroughly. There's a couple of aspects to it that I'm not going to do. I'll let you read that blog. In fact, I'll put a link to it here in this particular post. I'm not looking at the beneficiary aspect of hooking up to the Steem platform. I'm going to go strictly with website and, of course, using the SMT. In other words, as I see it, and I'm no technical expert, but as I see it, we'll be building a website, I guess, on steemit.com. As opposed to hooking directly into Steem. Now, again, the developers are going to clarify that for me over the next couple of weeks. But the long and the short of it is, what basically we're going to be doing is we're going to be building out an incredible website that to some extent will mirror what you see when you log into to steemit.com. You're probably going to see our website if in fact you decide to work with us on our website, of course, steem.film. And at that point, of course, anything you post on steem.film will also be posted on Steem, on I should say, on Steemit. And of course, we'll be bootstrapped when SMTs come about. At least our token will be bootstrapped to Steem itself. It's really not going to be that complicated from what I can see. Our first discussions were a couple of hours. It was more deciding what we weren't going, I guess it was more than a couple of hours. It was more deciding on what we weren't going to do as opposed to what we're going to do. We're going to try to keep costs down because what we want to be able to do is try to have it very efficient so that with the least possible expense we can all be up and running. And of course we're going to share that information with you as we move along. And there are going to be questions such as, and it's interesting how these just came up and things were starting to kind of click. And one of the questions was from the developers, well, do we want to be able to drag and drop directly onto the steem.film onto the steem.film posting page, or will we be satisfied, as we are with steemit.com, of posting it first on YouTube and then embedding that link? That's a good question. And of course, also, I would like to see not only the ability to throw up JPEGs, but we're looking at the possibilities of maybe somehow or another using Word documents and PDFs as well. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I want to try to get a little more flexibility there. Anyway, having said that, these are the types of decisions that we're going to have to make, you're going to have to make with your SMTs when in fact you start the ball rolling at your end. It's all predicated on this idea now, as I see it, as starting with the website itself. That's the key. That's where you start, with the website itself. Get that worked on, and then next, of course, you wait until you've got your SMT, and then you launch at that point. So that's where we are at this point with the whole idea of the new website and the SMT. Now, I also have a meeting later on tonight with my director from the Order of Things to Come. We're going to talk about the final dates for the trailer and, of course, preparing for our private screening at Steamfest 3. And as well, we're going to do a little talking about our feature, which is now in the process of being worked on. I'm thinking there's a possibility that it could be done for, as I say shot, not done, but shot in January, February, March 2019. Certainly not going to do it in the fall because of Steamfest 3. And I'm looking at making a couple little changes that would make the shoot better, less expensive, for example, doing it in the winter months, okay? I'll give you some additional information on that in the blog later on this week and or maybe next week. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. We've started our website, building out our website, or at least the discussions on how we're going to do it, and I look forward to big things from SMTs. Anyway, you take care. You have a wonderful week coming up, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.